Hey, what's up, NDC? This is NDC TV live and direct presents Meet the Candidates. Three houses, 29 candidates. The polls are open now. I hope you're out there voting because this is your opportunity to use your voice and your vote because it matters. We're bringing to you exclusive one on one interviews with the candidates. I'm your host, Sharufa, and we're just going to jump right into it. Today we have respect. Welcome, Respect.
Hi Sharufa, how you
How
doing?
are you?
I'm fine, good.
Awesome. So, Respect, we're just going to jump right into it. Let the people know, who are you and what brought you to near?
Um, okay, I'm Respect with two E's. Two E's in the spelling of respect. I'm a rap artist. I am a computer scientist. I'm a builder now, thanks to Near and Web3. For me, it was really finding. So I found the entire space through Near and through a project called C1 Foundation, and it was really about figuring out that, because I mean, being an artist, I was already building a world, right, in my head. And then I kind of found the tech that backs that up, right? And that was almost 2 years back. And truthfully, I feel like I went down a rabbit hole because for me it was just, oh, let's find out more about this tech, how to use it, and then next thing I find myself, campaigning for a position, right? It's crazy, it's interesting but crazy. So yeah, that's respect. I now have my project that I'm building called Planet Lukoko, and there we build. So it's like a fairy tale world, right? Where we solve real life problems, right? Using stories. And we also use the stories, like the adventures, to hit our roadmap and basically grow. So it's just beautiful to see, the pivot from, okay, because coming, being an artist in Web2 was more like, okay, let me make something of myself with music and then be able to leverage that to build out what's on my mind. But Web3 is more like, oh, just, start where you are, get people involved, people that understand what you're doing will get in and build with you. So it's literally that, right? I see what Planet Lokoko can be, but like I see where we're at and we're doing it together. So yeah, I don't want to ramble about that, but that's it.
No, that's beautiful. It's such a dope story and thinking about your creative history and how you're fusing the worlds together now, right? At this juncture in Web3. So tell the people, what are you running for and why are you running?
I'm running for Council of Advisor, right? And my reason is, I will just go straight to what I've been saying. Um, I think we need to focus a lot more on new member retention, right? We need to be able to, beyond onboarding new members, we need to be able to hold them in, right? And in an almost automated way, right? I'm really tired of, I mean, it's beautiful, but I'm tired of people coming and saying, oh, this person onboarded me, and I remember, and I will always remember that. It's nice, right? But I think it's time for a change. It's time for people to start to come into Near because of like just attractive projects they find. And when they come on, we should be able to see them, right? We should be able to know. It's almost like Discord, right? You come on Discord, automatically you see, oh, this person joined. Now imagine we have that on our forum, right, in such a way that when this person joins, we also see where they're at, right? This what the person is interested in, this why the person joined, this what the person can do, right? That way we are able to say, oh yeah, this person can come on my project, or this person, I can do this for this person automatically without having to lose people. Because there's so many people that, fall out, right? They just leave. and it's not for lack of interest, it's just for lack of not knowing where next to go and just being lost. And it's so important to hold on to our new members, right? Also, being someone with like a very, my perspective I've seen is quite different. I think it's important that we pay attention to unorthodox ideas, right? And I understand the idea of people, wanting to not spoil, not fix something that's not broken. But I also know that we are the beginning of something, right? And now is the best time to not neglect any voice, right? Don't say no to any voice. Instead, take it and modify it, because that's the best way. If Nair intends to onboard billions of users, right, or a billion users, that's so many voices, that's so many perspectives. And I think now is that time to be focusing on unorthodox ideas, bringing them in and modifying them and just making them work, right? Another thing is, am I still on track, Sharufa?
I keep going. This is your time to shine.
Yeah,
Respect.
okay.
This is
So
your
another
time to
thing is with
shine.
projects. So at a point, before Web3, I used to like strategize for brand strategy for like projects outside of Web3, actually through Red Media. And I see so many beautiful projects and products and communities and whatever I want to call it, but I see that there's no focus on the brand, right? And brand is very long term, right? It needs to be something that we're paying attention to right now. It ties into what I said earlier. I've heard people in the ecosystem say, oh, a project on Near is going to onboard a billion users. What are the odds? The odds are against us regarding that. But we stand a better chance if we have 1,000 shiny projects onboarding people, from different parts of the world, right? And there's just beauty in that, right? And the way we can do that is if the projects we have right now are focused on branding beyond marketing, on branding. What is your story? What are you really trying to do? And are you putting that in the front of what you're saying? Is it there? Is it in everything you're saying? And I understand that the space is, it's not really about, it's not, you don't have to be um what's the word for it? You don't have to be like a professional to do stuff, right? But I think just, and that's why the role I'm going for is advisory, right? I think just mere advising these projects on like taking their branding seriously would go a long way, right, in just bringing more people on. And it reduces the stress, truthfully, of having to, as a project owner myself, having to go out and say, come on my project, come on Near and all that. Instead, this brand will speak for you, right? The brand will speak even when you're not there, you know so it's just things like this. It's the new member retention, it's the branding, it's the listening to unorthodox ideas. And also it's, I see us at a point where, it's like we've been building very separately. When I say we, I mean the tech, the creators, and the culture shapers, right? Building beautiful stuff, but we're building separately, right? And I think we're just at that point of convergence and we mustn't miss it, right? If we listen to voices that kind of cause division and disparity, we will miss it, right? Because what we're supposed to be doing now is working together. Because without the tech, like I said, I came into this space already having that world in my head, right? And finding that, oh, tech can back it up. Do you understand? So I can't do without the tech. The tech cannot do without me. We can't do without the culture, because the culture is the people, right? You create stuff, you need it to fit what the people want, what the people will like, right? So more than ever, now is the time for us to be working together, right? And I see, and that's why I think, I mean, initially, I was thinking transparency commission. Then I thought about it, like this is this is very much like being the police, and I don't have the strength to be the police. However, I have my strength in, storytelling, and in making like very complex stuff look easy, and just letting people know what is next and what works. And to I mean, after all what I've said, right, that's really why I
It was powerful, and I know it's much appreciated by the voters because in saying a lot, right, you offer so much information about your vision and your hopes, right, for this V1 governance. Thinking about retention, thinking about how do we lower the burn and churn rate, right, that happens within the ecosystem, thinking about the inclusivity and the welcomeness, right, of what happens when people come into the community and their experience. And then also, wearing your branding hat and thinking about the impact of something as strong as branding, right? From a project perspective, from a business perspective, and knowing that it is a key resource, right? That's needed in order to be able to fully tell the story, right, of what you're building and what you're growing. So it's a lot, but I think that it's necessary, right? And the voters needed to
yeah,
hear that, right? Because they need to know
yeah,
why you expect. So in
yeah.
thinking about all of that, right? Because you said a lot, but where we are right now in this process of decentralized governance, do you believe that it is truly possible to be able to be and create a decentralized governance?
Whew. Truthfully, no. So when I say no, I don't say it like absolutely, because I think that's what we're doing, right? I see that that's what we're trying to do. But on another hand, I've seen it in like smaller scales. I mean, I mostly work with within the creatives DAO, right? And I see that to us trying to be as decentralized as possible, but it's almost impossible for to start with the builders, right? The founders. It's almost impossible for them to leave their babies, so they kind of, you always find that, them wanting to kind of control what happens anyway. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't even think centralization is necessarily a bad thing. One of the things that attracted me to Web3 in general was like the philosophy, right? Just the philosophy of it, just the mindset behind it, and coming on and seeing, the term, I feel the term decentralization is almost like a technical way of making that philosophy work, right? But it's I don't think, even if we hack decentralization, I don't think that is really it, right? I think we should continue to follow, that the spirit of Web3, so to speak, and also note that we're trying, right? We're trying to attain decentralization. So I guess my answer remains no. But also I'm saying we can find the balance, right, between, centralization and decentralization, while knowing that, we're working towards a point where it's going to be fully decentralized. And we might find out later on that it's not even as relevant. Decentralization might not even be as important to what we're trying to do as we're making it seem, right? But I understand the idea. Like I said, I really like the idea of everybody's voice being heard, right? So I get it, So yeah, that's really my response to it. No.
I think that it's powerful, right? Because you're you're being realistic, right? And you're also thinking about the future, right? And saying that there's a lot more learning that needs to happen, right? There are a lot more assumptions that are going to be revealed, and so we need to be remain flexible and fluid, right? To be able to strike that balance, right? Of this
100%.
this goal of decentralized governance. So thinking about fast forward respect, polls close on the 22nd, you find out you get the seat, right? You're in Council of Advisors, right?
Mhm.
What does success look like for you in this first V1 governance? 6 months from now, what are you hoping to be able to accomplish? What are you hoping to be able to look back on and say, like, wow, we got that done?
Truthfully, the things I mentioned earlier, right? It will be awesome to see how, the idea I said about like the automated, forum thing, it might not end up being that way, but it will be awesome to see a way to implement some form of automated, new member retention tool. you know. Also, it'll be nice to see the projects that find, once again, like I said, the things I mentioned, the projects that find that sweet balance, between the tech, the creators, and the culture, right? It will be nice to see that in hindsight. Um, I mean, one of the things that I intend to do, even going in, right, if I do make it in, very like almost immediately, I intend to have like this this is not even with the rest of the advisors, with the people now. And when I say the people, right, the people that resonates, I think I'm in a very good like intersection, right? Being an African woman, right? And just being a creative, I can already tell the people that would resonate at first, right? And these are the people that I intend to kind of listen to, right? So it's gonna look something like an open communication where you can tell me what you organized in an organized way, of course. You can tell me what you would like to see. And it doesn't mean that everybody's idea will make it, but everybody's idea will be, I will read through or listen to it and see what fits into, the things I already mentioned, see the things I even missed, right, during the campaign, and kind of take that on as something that I will be championing with the rest of the advisors, right? And so it will look like, obviously, the advisors will have other ideas and would have to. It's noisy.
Oh, it's okay. Keep going. We hear you.
Okay, so I would have to, also do the same thing with the advisors. I know there will be a lot of convincing, but at the end of the day, the things I mentioned are the things I would really love to see. That automated system, that that fresh outlook from the entire ecosystem where we're not trying to rally around one project, right? We're not trying to have one star project. Instead, we have many star projects doing many beautiful things in different places, because that's how we get the diversity that we love to talk about, right? As opposed to, looking right now and saying, oh, this project isn't hitting any of the metrics that I set, the metrics that I set using a different project, right? And then you just completely ignore that project and ignore the potential and ignore the potential people that could have come in through there, could have, been onboarded through it. So I guess that's what it would look like. If in fact, it will be beautiful to see in the next 6 months. I don't know if you've seen the this visual charts of the elections and the way we're connected. You can kind of see the places where, there's just, you can see where it's a lot of people compared to everywhere else, so it would be nice to have, in the next 6 months, the chart is more diversified, it's just more open, we have more people from different places doing different things and just, working together.
Yeah, that's amazing because what I hear is that you're thinking about your opportunity to be able to expand the open source, the open web, the transparency, and the diversity and inclusiveness of the ecosystem, which is needed across the board. So, rounding this thing out, respect these last couple of seconds. Let the voters know they're at the polls. They're ready to be able to choose someone. They're looking at your name. Why respect? Why now?
Why respect? First off, you're at the poll, you look for respect. REESPECT. But why respect? I mean, I have a very firm sense of justice. This Everything I'm going to say here now sounds like I'm, tooting my horn. But yeah, I do have a very firm sense of justice. I am very aware of intersectionality, right? And how much it plays into we near prides itself with being almost a social innovative, type machine, and for it to work, right? Because we already have the sharding, we already have the low cost, we are scalable as hell. We already have that, and what we need now is the people, right? And for us to get the people, we need to be ready to work with the people. And that's something that respect is, good at. I understand perspectives. I also tend to overshare, and that I think that's a good thing because you can tell what's on my mind every time, most times. And yeah, I'm also very stubborn, which I think will come in handy with like the rest of the advisors, because I imagine that we would need to do a lot of convincing, because once again it's going to be seven people from thinking different things, having different dreams about near, and seven people with like the people they represent also, and priorities and all that. So we're going to have to do a lot of convincing, and that's something that I'm good at because I'm stubborn.
Well, we sending all the luck to you, respect, vote respect, let the people know. What's your handle again, real quick? Let them know.
Respect, REESPECT.
Okay,
Yeah.
dot near. So get out and vote, everyone. September 22nd, the polls are closing. The time is now. Your voice, your vote matters. We thank you so much for tuning in to the Twitter. Stay locked into the YouTube. Yeah, thank you so much, Respect, for stopping by. Best of luck to
Thank
you.
you, Sharufa. Bye.
Bye.